started?
Do it.
All
All right.
right.
What are we talking
So
about today?
Justin is our host today, and he's going to talk to us about building agent to agent rapport and developing better relationships with other agents. So
Oh, I
take
thought this was
it
open
away.
houses. No, I'm just kidding. Cool. Well, awesome. So we're talking agent rapport today. There's a couple ways we can go about it, and really, I didn't have a set agenda other than talk about agent rapport. So we can talk about what we talked about a little bit on writing an offer. We talked about agent rapport on that side of things, how to build agent rapport instantly and quickly and not annoy the other agent, right? Or we can talk about how to build an agent community in your local area, which is, I would say, both. It's not an either or, it's a both. Um, let's do that first. So I would say one of my favorite things that I will tell you, and actually to go back even further, I've been in this business about 7 years. I've been in coaching for since I got my license. A month after that, I got into coaching with Tom Ferry. Not with Tom himself, but some of his coaches. And my coach gave me a really scary assignment. Right when I got my license, brand new, sold my house, banked all the money, rented a house. We were like, that's how we were doing it. My wife was pregnant. She gave birth like the week we moved, started a new career. My old job was ortho sales. I was in the OR with doctors, watching them cut into people. We were doing ACL reconstructions, ligament tissue reconstruction, all soft tissue stuff, and then some plating. It was just a miserable job for me. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. So like jumped out as fast as I could jump out after about a year. Had a crazy awesome guarantee, and then I was still like, nope, not for me. Jumped into real estate after we sold our house, so that's where we were at. It was a crazy time. So I got into coaching, signed up for, at the time it was $800 a month, signed up for coaching, and got a coach and was like, I hope this is good. And the first thing she tells me to do was, I want you to go find everyone in the MLS that has done more than 24 deals in a year within like a couple miles of you, and I want you to take them to lunch, 2 a week. And I was like, what the like, that's your advice? Like, I want to sell houses. So I was like, okay. And I will tell you, I have kept that practice up, and there's like, I bet you I could get in a room with like 300 agents and ask them how many of them I've had sushi with, and probably like at least a quarter of them will raise their hand. And then you probably will go, how many people have accepted my offers or have offered on my listings? And you'll probably have the same amount of people raise their hand. There's a direct correlation to your success as an agent in the community that you live in and work in, as there is with the amount of strong relationships you have and the ties you bond with other agents in your community. I've heard agents say silly things throughout the years. I mean, absolutely crazy things like, well, why would I friend agents on Facebook? Like they're my competition. And I'm like, what in the world? What are you doing? You're absolutely cutting yourself off from success. Everything that's available to you, if you create an agent community around yourself in your local area, or even within your brokerage, right? Like we're in real. Like I don't know if everyone on here is in real, because I know some people, other people outside the team can jump on, which is great. In your brokerage, wherever it's at, are you creating community, right? Some of my best friends from around the country, we got to see him last week at the conference. And if you saw me, it was like family reunion. Loved it. Your success is built on other agents. There's always an agent on the other side of your success. Always. If you're on the list side, there's a buy side, or you double end it, right? If you're on the buy side, you're begging the listing side. Like we all know that stuff. So why don't we make friends with them? Why do we view it as competition? Well, I would challenge you exactly what my coach challenged me on. Start building an agent community. If you're going to be in this business I've been in 7 years, and I feel like I know so many awesome agents in our valley, and I absolutely love them. So to back up, some of the tactics I'm going to tell you today, they might seem contrived, but they're 100% out of a sincere heart for like, I absolutely love my agents here in the valley. I'm in Marietta and Temecula. So Wildemar, Marietta, there's not really any agents in Wildemar. I don't think anyone lives in Wildemar. Marietta, Temecula, that's a joke. Menifee, Lake Elsinore, Temecula. It's all these agents here. My goal is to be their friend, right? There's a few that are curmudgeonly, and it's all good. We all have them. They're like the grumpy uncle. But just don't hang out with them. So what has that done for me? Building an agent community absolutely has helped me during these times of, gosh, what have we been through the last 3 years? Has anyone else felt like it's been like like only the things you see on a TV show like 24, where there's like a new nuclear disaster impending like every single season. It's felt like that, right? For the last 5 years, like COVID, stock market, wars, Israel, inflation, Fed, Trump, doesn't matter where you're at on that. That was a crazy time. Like, come on now, right? Like COVID, like you name it. We've been through like 24 and we're all like going to age really fast. It's really sad. So in any case, we've been through that. And as agents, you still have to sell houses or like you don't make money for your family. It really sucks to do that solo and to sit in your room by yourself with your own thoughts. Trust me, it's way better to have an agent community around you that you're like, how do I do this? And they're like, let's figure it out together. So that is like the benefits of it, along with, like I said, getting offers accepted, having better people on the other side of you, knowing other agents in the community. How do you like to accept an offer on a listing and knowing that the buyer's agent isn't absolutely nuts? Like, trust me, when you have a listing and you're like trying to accept offers and you're going like, this agent might be a little crazy. Buyer might be great, but the agent's nuts. But if you could have people that you actually know on the other side of the deal, give your client a better experience and give yourself more certainty of a closed escrow for yourself and your client, way better. That only happens through, I'll say sushi, but going to lunch, hanging out, doing those things. So let's talk about this because I don't want to talk to you guys at you. I don't want to talk at you for the next 40 minutes. So what are some ways we can meet other agents? Feel free to just unmute and go for it. And not all at once.
Agent caravan.
Caravans. There you go. Yep. Oldest time. Caravans. This is becoming more back in style. I know for like up here for like a long time, it was like, no offense, I'm just going to say it, like old people go on caravans. Like that's how it felt. And then, or luxury agents. Like luxury agents love caravans and old people. And then Shireen and our team was like, let's do a caravan. I was like, really? And then we did it. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Yeah, you'll meet people 100%. All right, what else?
I'm a part of the Young Professionals Network, and they put on a lot of events just every month that are everything from like a rooftop mixer to like axe throwing to just people that are basically in your community that are also doing the same thing as you. And there's a lot of people that are not only in real estate, but just finance and lending and all of that stuff. So it was really helpful. For sure.
That's awesome. That's a good one. Like community, like Chamber of Commerce and YPN, like Young Professionals is those are awesome. I did that 3 years ago as a chamber ambassador, and some of those relationships still pay dividends. I mean, they're great. And not even always from a standpoint of like someone's gonna have you sell their house. That's happened for sure for me, but carpet cleaner, like anyone you need to know, like you're going to have those vendors, you'll be a better resource for your clients, and you're going to bless other people in the community around you. So that's a really good one, Kara. Is it Kara or Kara? I want to make sure I'm getting it right.
No, you're right. It's Kara.
Kara. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you.
All right. What are some other ways we can meet agents?
Lunch and learn, like through other escrow companies title.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And you get to learn while you're at it, right? Like conferences, you get to learn where you're at it. Lunch and learns, you're going and you're learning where you're at it. We've got yeah, right. Yeah, always feeding you. Agents love free lunch. Chili cook-off. We got that coming up for All Set Escrow. You can meet agents there. I'll give you another shocking one. You could pick up the phone and call one and go to lunch with them. So you can do that too. So my coach had me go through and pick the 24 and up people who done over 24 deals a year. And I ended up going to lunch with them. And I was like, well, they're not going to want to hang out with me or do anything with me. But you know what the truth is? I will guarantee you that like we'll call it 80% of the time. She said, and I want you to ask them this question. Who else is who wants to be up and coming has asked you to lunch? And you know what the answer is? Actually 100% of the time, 0. All the agents in your community who are absolute badasses are 100% being underutilized by you and me. I went to lunch with like, this is my area, like Tyson Robinson, Lisa Force. I mean, the lady sells like, at the time she sold like 1,400 homes a year, like with her team. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's go to lunch. And I was like, really? And like, guys, like huge team. Do you know how many offers I've had accepted by Team Force just by texting Lisa and be like, hey, Lisa, I offered on Matt's property. Can you help me out? Like I probably have done like 15 escrows with them over like the last 3-4 years just from that. I mean, that's a ton. That's like probably $250,000, right? In commissions. Doesn't mean my offer wouldn't have got accepted otherwise. No, not necessarily. And actually, but I will tell you, during COVID, when people were offering 150,000 over asking price and still not getting offers accepted, absolutely those relationships helped me get offers accepted 100% of the time. It was almost who you knew and how much money your client had, and it had to be obscene, right? So that makes a huge difference. Let's see here. So yes, you can do a lot of things to meet agents on that side of it. You're going to hear about off markets, right? I'll give you a really good example of this. Josh has a friend, Robin, and we were all at drinks on whatever day, probably every day the last the first 3 days of the conference. And we just talked, right? We hung out, we talked. I wasn't a wallflower. I hung out, I talked to people. Those who know me know, like, I'm really good to have conversations for like 2 hours and I disappear. I got made fun of a lot last week, but I like to have conversations with them. So like, ask Robin a lot of questions, talk to her. She's a really great person. And I'm going to go back and tell you, like, I'm always sincere. I always want to know about people. I'm never going to use anyone, right? The benefits that come from that of being a sincere person are what we're talking about. So like, we hung out, we talked. Josh introduced us. Great. It was awesome. She's talking about Scripps Ranch. She's like the queen of Scripps Ranch, right? So talked about that. Josh, like, sorry, Josh, you're not the queen of Scripps Ranch. Sorry. Not happening. Yeah. So we're talking and she's like, oh, I have a listing coming up. I'm like, oh, great. I've got a buyer. He's a dentist. He's from Iran. He's great. And we're talking through it, and she's got the property coming up. She's texting me the address, texting me when it's coming. It's not even on market yet. She's like, hey, if you want to get your guy in early, let me know. 1.8 million, 1.7. Right? Like, would I have gotten the opportunity if I hadn't had a sincere desire to get to know another agent in my community? Zero, not at all. And let's talk about what's 2.5% of 1.7 million. I don't know. You do the math. I'm bad at it. So it's a lot of money through a conversation and loving on other agents in your community. Now, what am I doing right now? I'm loving on you guys, right? We're doing a class. We're talking through this stuff. You want to come from a place of contribution. Krista, your face was so still. I was like, is that a picture? Oh, she's blinking. Okay. That's awesome. Anyways, so, you want to come from you really just want to be able to make a community of agents around you, and you're going to see all the things about that. Like I just talked about, accepted offers, hidden inventory. I sincerely got to stand across the street. I'm selling my neighbor's house. We're trying to find the right one. Like, that's where we're at right now. We're looking for an awesome baller place to move them out into. They're in a 3-bedroom right now. And I said, absolutely. I get about 2 off-market properties a week. So like, let's dial in what you're looking for. And if I can find it off market for you, that'd be great. And they're like, they used another agent for like 9 months before me, awkwardly, even though I was across the street from them. It was like their dad's best friend that like he forced them to use, and they ditched him. And she's like, why didn't Craig ever tell us about this? I'm like, Craig probably doesn't get 2 off-market properties a week. That's why he didn't say it. So I'm like, yeah, so I really do. So compound that out, right? Having agents in your community over a 7-year period that I go to lunch with at least once a week. At least once a week, I'm going to lunch with an agent. Not on your team. Doesn't count. So just to clarify, doesn't count if they're on your team. They obviously want to accept your offer. They obviously want to help you as well. They obviously want to build community with you, I hope. So I go to lunch at least once a week with the agent I either don't know or one that I'm circling back around with, right? Keeping those ties and relationships strong. And because of that, I'm getting on average 2 off-market properties a week. Hey, do you know anyone for this? Hey, do you know anyone for this? They're just throwing it out to you. How would you like that text message? As you're like, I have no idea how to get this client a $1.7 million house. This is so cool. I really want it. And then you get a text message. It happened to me. Oop. I had a text message from someone. I was looking for a house for a client, a friend of mine. And I'm like, dude, Copper Canyon, I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, what he wanted was like needle in a haystack, because like people don't sell here very often. I'm kind of like, we're like the Scripps Ranch in Marietta, Josh. Like, people don't sell. They want to stay. And so like they're looking for a baller backyard, like pool, side for RV parking, like just killer. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, gotta start putting out the feelers. I kid you not. 25 minutes later, I get a text from Ashley in my neighborhood. She's like, hey, I've got a listing coming up, but they're really private. It's off market. It's like pool, backyard, view, lot, RV parking, 3-car garage. Like, I'm like, yep, I got the person. Like, literally, how good did I look to my client to be like, hey, I know we just talked, but what are you doing at 4 o'clock today? You want to go see a house? Off market. Sold them that one, helped them buy the new house. There we go. That happens through agent community. So I get, what's it called? On average, 100 off market opportunities a year. And the rest of agents are like, I don't know, like 3 agents in my valley, right? So you really, really are going to see dividends when you are forming an agent community. Do you guys have questions about that? I hope you do. Where to start, what you do. Nothing, no questions. Okay. So how you form an agent community. Let's go back over it real quick here. How to form an agent community. I would encourage everyone on here, look up anyone with 24 deals or more in your marketplace, or honestly, even 20. In this market with the slower inventory that we have and less volume of transactions, you can absolutely go lower, right? Like 20. It's not COVID year. So 20 transactions and up, or higher price points, like Ruth, like where you're at, higher price point, like more La Jolla area. I mean, if someone's doing 10 deals a year and their average price point's like 3.5, I want to know them, right? So just scale it to your area. What does a producer look like in your area? That's who you want to meet with. So it could look different for all of us. So you're going to want to look up the people that fit the production that you're trying to target, and you're going to want to go to lunch with them, hang out with them, ask them lots of questions, right? A lot of us are in Real. That could lead to a really good conversation for you talking to them about Real. So I wouldn't lead with that, by the way. So look up the agents in your area, and you're going to want to go to lunch with them and talk to them and be interested. If you want a series of questions, just let me know. But I think you could probably come up with them, right? We're all in the people business. We're not in the sales or housing business. So what do you do? When did you do before this? How long have you been in the business? What's your team like? Why'd you get into real estate? What's been your toughest transaction? Right? Like, you could go on and on. Do you believe in open houses? Everything. Marketing strategy, you name it. Ask them why they've been in the business so long. The first year's the hardest, so they've survived this long. They're amazing. Just honor them. And take notes, by the way. Like, when you see someone like get a notepad out and start taking notes on what you're saying, you're like, oh my gosh, like this person's like honoring me right now. So do that. Take notes. You're there to learn. So I would do that. We talked about going to producer lunches. Who's going to the gala this Thursday? Don't listen to me. Thursday. There we go. Ruth is. Okay. Rich is. George is. So go to the gala. Like, people going to the gala, I'm guessing they're in real estate. They sell houses. That's what we're talking about. Put it into practice. And Siri's even like, guys, we have such a good, I call it boss, but team lead, right? We have such a good team lead. She's like, hey, I'll buy your tickets. Who wants to go? Come on now. What other team you think's doing that? They're like, hey, here's the link. Go buy your ticket. She's like, hey, who wants to go? Just let me know. Like, that's pretty rad. You should take.
And those tickets aren't cheap.
Nope. Yeah, you should definitely take advantage of that. Like, celebrate the team, celebrate everyone that's been working their butts off to get to that spot, to get noticed, to even get nominated. So I would encourage it. I'm finding babysitting so I can go. So I'm a 78% of the way there. So go to events, go to chili cook-offs, go to galas. When your boss says, I have a free ticket for you, it's really expensive. Go to conferences. Like, a bunch of us were at the conference last week. I know that was an expensive conference, but it was absolutely worth it. It was totally, completely, doctors spend how much money on continuing education? We spend like a drop in the bucket compared to what we make. Do it. Go to those things, meet people, ask questions. Now, you're probably wondering why you should go to a conference as well, because there's people that are from all over the country, and how does that benefit you? Well, honestly, I probably make, at the very least, I make $50,000 a year on agent-to-agent referrals. This year alone, I made about 78. So someone goes, hey, do you know someone in Temecula? Yeah, I know someone in Temecula. His name's Justy. He's great. You want to list your house? Perfect. It's not really how it goes, but you get it. Simplified it for you. So there is zero. George, let me ask you, is there any drawback? Is there any drawback at all to knowing more agents?
I couldn't get it off mute. No, absolutely not. I think Justin kind of hit it on the head, not only for agent to agent referral, but you're building your network to, you know, make sure that your clients have the best chance to get an offer accept to build your credibility within real estate, even if you're not like, if you're brand new, this is the best thing you need to do because most people don't know who you are. So
Yeah.
when you get out there, I mean, people in Temecula know Justin. When he writes on an offer on a house, he may not be the best offer, but I can tell you the listing agent's going to go to bat for him because they've either heard of him or they've done, a deal with him, or they can see his transactional history to know he's going to close the deal. Prime example, I mean, we have a listing in Oceanside and it wasn't the highest offer, but we've done a deal with the agent before. So we went to bat for that agent and told our seller, hey, this isn't the highest offer, but we know we're going to get it to the finish line. This agent has a high success rate of closings. If that person didn't build out their rapport with us, they would have had probably little to none shot of getting that offer accepted.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. And be able to open that channel of communication with someone. I've said this on our last one. We talked about getting offers accepted, but when I say, hey, I have the right buyer for you, help me write you the right offer. That only works well if they trust you, right? If they think you're a psycho and you have a great buyer, they're going to be like, okay, cool. Just give me your highest and best. Like highest and best is what you say when you're like, okay, all right, just give me what you got. So you want like exactly what George says. Like I guarantee you, George or Siri talked to that other agent and got them where they needed them to get to, because they like the agent. They don't know their client. Like the client could be nuts, like for all they know, right? But the agent's great, so they trust them. So they open escrow with them. And so you're just going to see the dollars pile on for yourself and the success for your client if you do that. Okay, so now you see some of the benefits of creating agent community. Now, is it slow going? It can be for sure. It's more enjoyable that way though. Like I'm telling you guys, like the coolest thing is this. Like, so the other day, same clients I just talked about, we walked into a property, the ones that are selling across the street from me. We walked into a property and I saw another agent in there. And he like, the lady was at the door. She was just like a card Nazi. She was just like, can I have your business card? And I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those people. And I actually have one on me. So I gave it to her. I usually never do. I'm like, here's my QR code, and watch the old person like get all mad. But a lot of people just hate when you don't have a business card on you. I'm sorry, that's antiquated, but I have them. Okay, so I go in and the other agent's there and he's like smiling at me and he's like touring with his clients and I know him. And I'm like, what's up, Matt? And he's like, dude, she just chewed me out hardcore. His clients were like giggling. And I was there with my clients and then another agent walks in the door. And I was like, she's like, do you have your business card? He's like, oh, I don't have one on me. And the other agent and I are laughing and we're like walking around. And then he comes up and there's like three agents and we're talking together and we all know each other. And we walk out of the house, me and my clients, it was an uneventful showing. It was great. We walk out and they're like, honestly, it's super cool. Like everybody. And they're like, we feel so good about that. She's like, you're not going to miss something. I'm like, yeah, I won't. Because I was in there asking him, hey, sorry you got reamed by the agent. Do you have something coming up that fits like this? And he's like, oh, it's in Temecula. I got this. But they heard us trying, right? And so your client, like you're kind of truncating them from that part of the experience and you're kind of cutting off a piece of success if you don't know other agents. Because what am I doing? I'm getting secret inventory. My clients hear me. They know I'm connected. For them, it's a validator. They're going like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's in the community. He swims with the fishes, right? Like in a good way. So that's really what they want. They don't know it till they see it, but they're like, man, you know everybody. I'll give you another example. In my neighborhood, again, I had a client. They always seem to pick me second, but whatever. I had a client around the corner from me. Does like our mobile detailing, all that stuff. He's a great dude. They ran into me at an open house. I was with another client in our neighborhood. And he goes, oh, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? And then I saw a listing agent. I was like, oh, Cammie. I'd sold her personal home. Like I was on the buy side of her personal home like 3 years ago. I was like, how's South Carolina? Oh my gosh. Talking, hugging. It's all good. And they walk in. My clients are there. And then the other guy who didn't use me yet, who's in the neighborhood renting, is there. I'm like, oh, Danny, you can't be here. You already live in the neighborhood. Like, we need to move more cool people in. You're already here. And we're joking around. It's all good. And he calls me later and is like, hey, can you meet like at like 8:00 on like Sunday night? And his wife's on, or I text me, and then his wife was on there too. And Becca's like, stop being weird. We want to meet about you being our agent. I'm like, all right, cool. So I came over and they were like, you just know people. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, we want that. She's like, our agents from Orange County, again, family member, like kind of like mom forced them to use them or whatever. What's up with all these kids in their 30s, like parents forcing them to use agents? Like, grow up. So she's like, we want that. Like, we missed out on a house that, like, I found out later, they missed out on a house that I got my offer accepted on. That they knew it was me because I posted about it with my clients on social, and they were like, oh, and she asked me, she's like, hey, how bad did we miss that house on? She told me they offered. I was like that guy was in Mexico on WhatsApp. I was WhatsApping him. Here's the exact price. And I showed her the group thread, and she was like so sad, like she missed out because she picked the wrong agent. And I felt really good at the moment, but not for her misery, but for the job I did. But I knew the other agent. I got the offer accepted. They went to open house, and they saw the X factor is Justin knows other agents. Like, he freaking knows everybody. And that's my goal. My coach's job for me, she said, your first year in real estate, your goal is, yes, to sell houses. I told 7 the first 8 months. Your goal is to be the mayor of Agent Town. And so that's the joke. I'm the mayor of Agent Town in my area, and you should be too. And that might be big. Like, look, I'm in a micro area like Marietta and Temecula and Menifee. Obviously, you're in San Diego, right? So that's where, like, Ruth, you pick your neighborhood, you pick your spot. You know, Josh, pick your spot. Like, everyone picks their spot where they're going to be local at. And there's a couple big fishes all around San Diego that you'll get to know too, right? So you're going to want to do that because you see, like, your clients are going to be impressed. Don't you want that? You're going to get offers accepted. You're going to have really good things happen to you. You know, I think a testimony of that would be like Siri, right? Like, she knows like everybody. Like, she's been it long enough. She's not screwed anyone over. She's been above board and ethical. She's been friendly. She's reached out to people. I'm sure she had lunch and hung out. She's been around. I mean, guys, she's like a 20-year veteran in this business. And I think we'd always say we love what she's done with it, and we're all reaping the benefits. Well, that wasn't built all alone. That was built on agents too. So you're going to miss out if you're not doing that. So that's a big encouragement for you guys. I would absolutely not overlook the fact that go to lunch with agents once a week outside your team. See what they're doing. See what's new. See what's different. You know, our team, we're all different people, but I guarantee you, if you pick someone outside the team to talk to find out their philosophy on how they do business or get business, you'll be amazed. We all do a lot of the same stuff because we're similar. We're different, but we're somewhat similar, and we're aligned on lead sources and things like that. Find someone out of alignment with you, and you'll be really surprised about the results you'll get and ideas for your business on how to take it forward. So that's this part of it. George, you have anything else to add to that, or anyone else have anything to add? Rich?
No, I think you hit it pretty well on the head. And I guess there was one other thing I kind of want to hit on is if you don't feel like you're good at networking with people, or you don't want to talk to people, or you don't know how to talk to people, align yourself with people that do. And then kind of get comfortable with the situation. Like, Justin's a great person to go to these events with, or like out to lunch, or just anywhere, because you can then pick up on kind of how he's running the conversations and then get more comfortable with meeting new people. Because I know it is kind of like out there to just go meet another agent, right? Because everybody supposedly is in competition with everyone else, especially in San Diego, with you have 25 million agents. And I just think being at the Rise event with him and Josh and everybody, it was kind of cool to see everybody go together, but kind of branch out and talk to their own people.
Actually, George is a good example of that. George and Siri went on, I would call it like the Tom Ferry crew boat, and got to know other people and met. And so I think that's awesome. I think they're living proof of that. That was my comfort zone. That was out of the comfort zone for George and Siri, and they ran with it and met a bunch of awesome people. So,
yeah. And thanks for the invite. That was awesome.
Yeah, super cool. Hey, who's gonna say no to margaritas, tacos, and boats? That's awesome. Well, maybe someone will, but
another thing too is when you're out and you're doing these when you go to open houses, this is an opportunity too for you to let your clients walk around, and then you walk up and start mingling and talking with those agents that are in there as well. Pick their brains, find out who they are. Make them laugh, start making connections. I've got connections to this day. After that, instantly, I'm like, hey, what's your IG? Follow them on IG right then and there. and then look and see if they posted a story right then, and boom, then reply on that real fast and be like, hey, I was there, and then they reply back, hey, thanks for coming out. Then you just start communicating right there, building those relationships there. Anytime someone else, like a vendor or something, has something and they invite you and they invite other agents, whether it's golf, it's working out, any kind of activity that they have going there, don't just go there thinking that, hey, I'm going to go there just to try and get this lender to help me out. Go there with the mindset too that, hey, there are other agents in here from different brokerages from all over. And that's an opportunity for you to actually start mingling with them as well, because they all have listings and they have buyers. And that's another opportunity right there. I've got a ton of agents just from doing that stuff too. And I still keep up with those guys. And Jody, you know about that too. I mean, going and whether you're out networking with the girls, or if you're doing, workouts, with people and whatnot. I mean, those are big opportunities for you guys to take as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think hearing what Rich said, right, I would point to that one thing. He said, don't go with looking at how you can either like get business or get someone to help you, or really like what's in it for you, right? The what's in it for you is a lot of times that person giving of themselves to you. That was probably the biggest one for me, was Lisa Force sitting with her. And I mean, she's huge. She's everywhere. Like this, I mean, they've gotten a lot smaller now, but again, they were slinging 1,500 homes a year. Insane numbers. They were the number one team in California for like 4 years. And like going to lunch with her, I mean, taking notes, she said thank you to me. Like she said thank you to me. And I'm like, for what? I was like, thank you. And she's like, that was great. I haven't had someone be that interested. And I was like, are you serious? Like she's probably made like 10 million in real estate. Like that's nuts, right? Not to mention like the struggle it took to get there. So just honor the person, go in there with what's in it for them. Ask lots of questions, and that honors them a lot. Like Rich said, don't look at it for like, how can I use this? Yes, the benefits are on the side. You're going to get offers accepted. You have a better community. Real estate won't be as lonely. When you have really hard times, I mean, there's been people I've texted like in my area, and I'm like, I'm going nuts this week on real estate. I had one yesterday. I was like, hey, dude. He's like, let's go for a bike ride. I'm like, cool, let's do it. There's just people, you have built-in real estate therapists all around you if you do that. People you can ask questions to, etc. So hopefully that is thoroughly convinced you guys to reach out. I hope you guys are going to run that. Like, I mean, I would love to hear. Please do. Please absolutely text me, Slack me, whatever you want to do. Just tell me, hey, I went to lunch and here's what I experienced. I would love for everyone by like next week to do that. I'm gonna put my number in the chat for anyone that doesn't have it.
Hey, Justin, and one more thing too, like for those that are starting to take listings on, one thing too is don't be afraid to reach out and call the other agents around the area and just pick their brains. Yes, some of them are going to be full on assholes. That's the nature of the business. It's going to happen. Yeah. But there are going to be others that are going to reach out and they're going to say, hey, thanks so much for reaching out to me, because you're trying to make that area better. You're trying to better one another, especially if they know that they've got a listing coming, you've got a listing coming soon. You guys want to partner up. You guys want to make the best for your clients. And when you're working with those agents on that aspect and they're from a different brokerage, you start to actually care about one another. Hey, man, the clients that came over to my place weren't good for me, but I sent them over your way. Vice versa. I've literally got phone calls now from just Menifee alone that they know Justin, like they talk highly about him, exactly what he's saying right here. And on top of that, they call me all the time saying, hey, man, how's it going? Just calling to see how things are going. See that you guys are closing and blah, blah, blah. It's the relationships are there. It's what effort are you willing to put into it? And you've got to realize that it's not for you as a gain of like, okay, what can I selfishly get? It's more of a, hey, I'm building something here in the future that when I realize that they've got a listing on, we've got good rapport. And then follow it up with social media, like I'm telling you guys, social media, I have been able to keep relationships with these agents. And you want to know what? Some of them have open deals with some of the agents on our team. And they're like, hey, Rich, what can you tell me about Nathan Shear? Hey, Rich, what can you tell me about Justin McCabe? And I'm like, they're awesome. They're awesome. They're like, cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward. We're thinking about opening escrow with them. You should, not just because they're on my team, but because they're awesome people. So that helps there too.
Yeah. No, it's huge. There's literally zero downside, guys. Zero downside. Add them on Facebook, follow them on Insta, repost their stuff. If they have a listing, you're like, hey, can I repost that for you? That'd be awesome. Like, do it. Why do you care? Right? Like, repost something. You're just lift up the agent community around you, and you're gonna get awesome stuff. All right, so let's get tactical real quick. We're gonna switch gears real quick. Let's talk about how to build rapport when you are newer and writing an offer on a listing. All right. So I'm going to run through and do a really condensed version of what we talked about for like an hour and 15 minutes on the last training that we did on how to get an offer accepted. So at the moment, I have a 91% acceptance rate on my offers over the last 12 months. 91%. Part of that as a why is yes, because the agent community I've built. The second reason why is the agents I don't know, because there's plenty of them. For every agent I know, there's 55 I don't, right? Probably more. Because we have all the onesie twosie agents in the area, right? They're going to go away little by little as the market gets harder. If you guys were at the Real conference, you heard Sharon's rah, which was you're in for the craziest, hardest 6 months of your career, and then it should get a little bit better. So what do you do with that? Hardest time of your career, next 6 months, rah, right? How do we get offers accepted still? And you're looking and going, Justin, that's great. You've been in the business 7 years. I've been in the business like 2 weeks. So how do I get an offer accepted? I don't know the other agent. I haven't gone to sushi with him. I don't like sushi. I don't know. If you don't like sushi, it's okay. It's really not okay, but we'll pretend it is. How do you deal with that? Well, we're going to talk about how to build rapport efficiently and quickly and get an offer accepted and stand out from everybody else. You ready? Okay. So number 1, you go to see a property. Follow the MLS instructions. These are totally things you should write down, by the way. If you don't listen to anything else, write these down. Follow the MLS showing instructions. The worst thing in the world for an agent is they're super busy, which right now agents are as busy. But during COVID, this was like a death sentence for your offer. Hey, can I show you a property on 123 Banana Street at 4 o'clock? And I go, please follow the showing instructions. Because like we probably already have like 75 showings on the books because it was nuts then. And they're like, can you just schedule it for me? And I'm like, am I your assistant? Like, seriously? Okay, let me see what I can do. We were all grumpy, right? It was COVID. It's like, can you please just schedule it through showing time? Like, I would get those texts every day. And what does it tell you about the agent? Either don't know how to read, poor agent, right? They don't know how to read. They blindly click through all their Department of Real Estate buttons and they got their license. Or they didn't care enough. They're not detailed enough. And that says a lot about them, right? Can they really manage their client if they can't read the MLS instructions? I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see. So follow the MLS instructions. Agents love it when you follow the MLS instructions. This says showing time, do showing time. It says send, like last night, I had one that was like, hey, send proof of funds and pre-approval. Do I think that we have to do that? I think it's kind of dumb and we shouldn't have to. But guess what I did? I sent them both and I booked the showing and just text them a confirmation. Hey, Jack, just want to confirm with you. Got my proof of funds, got my pre-approval for my client. Really excited to see the property tomorrow at 5. Just let me know what, I'll wait for it to get approved. And he's like, hey, thanks for following the instructions. Absolutely. Great. You just passed the first test. The agent knows you know how to read, you follow instructions, and you're respectful. Awesome. So when you show the house, keep in mind everything's recorded for the most part, right? Don't talk by the Ring doorbell ever, or at the curb right in front of the Ring doorbell. Just don't do it. They can hear you. How do I know? Like Rich and George and everyone on here. Well, actually, I think George is on here, but George I think was the worst at it when he sold his house. See, Kara. The Ring doorbell, they send me clips. Oh, this person talked bad about the house. They're watching it. So make sure you don't do it with your client. Brief your clients ahead of time. That's how you stay in rapport. Also, if your clients have young kids, don't let them jump on couches. It's not their home. Things like that. And be adamant about it. Look, like I'm telling you, like right now, this might not sound like building agent rapport, but it totally is. You want to know what kills rapport with the agent? Is when they see that bratty kid jumping on the couch or their bed or handling their stuff. And that you, the agent, were a pushover and said nothing. I absolutely will start parenting someone's child if they are in a listing messing with my profession. So, hey, get off there. You need to get off. You need to get down. Hey, guys, I'm sorry. He can't be on there like that. Like, you are absolutely free to say it to someone. It's not their house. It's your license. You're in the house. So that's all I'll say about that one. And I have 3 kids. I'm a decently patient person with children, but I don't put up with that. So that's like literally I'm going through the things with you guys that have broke rapport for me before that don't do it, right? So I would absolutely tell you, make sure you follow the MLS instructions. Make sure you mind your P's and Q's inside the listing. Don't talk in front of the Ring doorbell, right? Things like that. If you are, say nice things. It's all good. What else? When you go to show a home, if your client's like, Justin, I think this is it. It doesn't hurt you to follow the instructions, book the showing, and then guess what you do? Take your phone and go, hey, what's going on, Josh? I'm really excited to show your listing in Scripps Ranch right now. Man, thank you so much for approving that showing tomorrow at 4 p.m. If there's anything I can do to tell you about my clients, let me know. I think I have the best clients for you. If this is the house we think it is, we want to write you the best offer possible. So I might be giving you a call afterwards. All right. Thanks so much, man. What does Josh know at that point? If we're talking about agents we don't know. Over any other agent who submits an offer on that listing, Josh knows I follow instructions. He knows what I look like. He sees me. He sees your background, maybe a cool background, where you live. I don't know. Do it in your house. It could be super impersonal or super personal and informal. Totally good. I've absolutely done gym videos like in the locker room where I'm like, hey, up against the lockers, like, hey, just wanted to let you know, thanks for approving the showing. I'm all like gymmed out. It's all good. Just show them who you are. That familiarity. They're going to see who you are over all the other nameless or faceless names that come in their inbox with an offer. They're going to go, Justin, I know that guy. That's the sweaty gym guy. I don't know, but I don't make that a habit. But you want to show that to people, right? Who you are, what you do. That's great. Give them a piece of who you are. Don't give them a piece of your mind. Give them a piece of who you are. So that's huge. Then when you go to write an offer, call them. Like I've said this before, you want to get an offer accepted? Pick up the phone. How many times I've seen people submit offers? I'm like, I don't know who you are. You never called me. You never thanked me for a showing. You didn't ask me what my client needed. We need an SIP. We need rent back. We need this. We need that. We need these 3 things, right? You asked for this to be included. You didn't ask me about it. I would have told you my client already sold the washer and dryer. So it's not in the house anymore. So we can't include it in your offer. Now there's a effed up part of your offer because you didn't call. Like, it sounds merciless, but guys, like agents deal with volume, right? Like heavy hitting listing agents deal with volume. And so they want to make sure that you're listening. And so you want to call and say, hey, Rich, I've got the most amazing, if it's Rich, I would say this. I got the most badass, amazing buyer for you. I want to write you the most badass offer. How do I do that? Help me out here. What can I do for your client? And Rich is like, well, he's moving to Montana. He's building a log cabin. He needs 3 extra weeks in the property and then it'll be done and he can take off. If we could do it for free, that would be great. I already have 3 offers on the table. 2 of them didn't write in the seller in possession. One of them, even though I told them to, one of them I never heard of. And actually there's a 4th offer that came in that is offering rent back, but they don't want to do it without the $3,000 a month for the mortgage. So they want $3,000 from my client. Hey man, you do it for free. I mean, you'll look better than the rest of them, even at list price. So what do? Right under the door. And Rich goes, yep, this is it. The guy listened. I know him, like him. He's honoring my client and everything I said on the phone. Now, that's the other second piece to that, right? If you're going to ask the right questions, you better be prepared to honor it. So if you're going to get the inside track and inside information, don't write a bad offer after that. Like, write what they told you because you know what it takes to win. Now, what's one of the benefits that to your client? Does anyone else on here have a hard time getting your client to write the kind of offer that's going to win? Sometimes. Am I the only one? If I say, hey, it's 50,000 over and they want free rent back for 5 weeks. Josh, does that scare you a little bit? If you had to go to the client, write a first offer and go 50,000 over, free rent back?
Yeah, first one's going to be tough for sure.
Yeah.
I think once they've done it once or twice, then they start building that trust with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully they don't write 1 or twice, right? Hopefully it's just once. So how do you ensure that happens? You could guess and go, yeah, we put the offer in. Did I raise my hand? Oh, I did. Gestures. Check that out. How do I put my own hand down? I don't know. Nice. It went down. By the way, has anyone else downloaded the new iOS for their phone, iOS 17, where on FaceTime, a buddy of mine, I was FaceTiming with him and he made the heart symbol. And all of a sudden, heart started coming out of his hand at my face on the screen. It's like a new thing. It's like gestures. But anyways, if you want to freak someone out, don't tell them you upgraded and just start doing the heart on FaceTime and it'll shoot hearts at them. Anyways, I don't deal with all my buddies, just good ones. So yeah. So the other part of that is like getting your client to write the right offer. You could go to them and say, hey guys, I think this is going to really pop off. We should come in at like 50,000 over and offer like free rent back. And they're like, I mean, do we have to? Versus I go, Ruth, I just got off the phone with Rich. Here's the deal. I got all the secret inside scoop for you to win this home. This is the one, right? Is this the one, Ruth? Ruth knows, yes. Yes. This is the one. It's got a pool overlooking whatever. It's amazing. View home, sunsets at night. It's glorious, right? It's exactly what Ruth and her husband want. Okay, Ruth, you said this is it. Here we go. The inside information is this. Rich has 4 offers. The highest one is 35,000 over. They're not offering a rent back. Now, he said his client really needs it. So he's like, dude, you come in at 30, at 30,000 over and give them that 4 weeks rent back for free. You're probably the best bet. I'm like, hey, it's not a guarantee, Ruth, but that's the inside info. That's like the behind the scenes stuff. What do you think? Is that what you want to do? Write that offer to win it? She's like, yeah, okay. Like, I've given her everything she needs. She confirmed this is the house. I told her what it takes to win it. She's like, all right, I'm on board, right? Because why? I've already done the work and gone to her and said, here's the situation, versus going to her and saying, this could be a scenario. It's a really nice house. I went and said, definitely in order to win, you have to be at least here. Straight from the listing agent, basically straight from his client. What's Ruth going to do? Now she has a decision. If I want the house, I write this offer. If I don't want the house, I don't write the offer at all. I'm not going to hide it. The reason why my acceptance rate is partially so high is because I have clients who, when I get all the info, decide, nah, can't do it. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. It saves me a lot of time with my family. How many of you are tired of writing offers that you duck out from your kids and your family, doing something really special, like watching a movie or Hotel Transylvania, or you're at the bar and your client's like, I want to write this offer. And you're like, your offer sucks. How do I tell you that? Like, I don't even want to write it. It's not going to get accepted, right? Well, when you call the listing agent, I go, hey, Josh, here's what Ruth said. To get the offer accepted, it would need to at least be here. And Josh goes, nah, too rich for my blood. I go, all right, no worries. This isn't the one for us. We're going to find it. I'll call you tomorrow. Click, go back to drinking. Cheers, right? What did I do? I didn't waste time like running home for my friends, writing an offer that I knew had no chance, and I had a bad attitude, right? So save yourself the time, take back control of your business, write strategic offers, really good ones. Now, submitting the offer. I said this on the last one. You can email me. I will send you my template that I use. It's a very simple template for sending out offers. It's got a video template in there. I believe we still have the Team BombBomb account. I have a personal BombBomb account. But I believe there's still a Team BombBomb account. If you don't know what BombBomb is, Google it. GTS. In a nutshell.
BombBomb account.
Yeah. You guys can connect that to FUB. Like directly integrate it. Use the product key, integrate it right into FUB, I believe.
It is connected to FUB, and you can use it right from your follow-up boss. There's a little bomb, like a little icon, and you just click on it and it takes you right in.
Yep, right when you're in your email. So you go to write, I go to write Krista an email, and there's a little bomb. Click the bomb, and it goes, gonna record you now. So make sure you're dressed appropriately. But when you click the button. So I do that with every client. I have a template. I click on, you'll have to enable it on your Gmail. Just go in templates, enable templates, copy and paste if you email me, what I'll send you. Put it in your template. Make sure you don't have a signature in there because it'll double signature it. And then I fill out all the info. It says the same thing every time. I'll literally read it to you guys right now. All right. So I go to write an offer for somebody, compose. This saves me so much time, y'all. Templates, offer template. I even have offer rejection template. Anyways, okay. Hi, blank. Thanks for sending me some details on what your seller's looking for in underlined. I really think we can make a deal happen that works for both parties. Offer details are below. Josh Shelsing is our preferred lender, and he's on here as well and can verify anything you would need about the buyer's finances. His direct number is blank. He should be reaching out to you as well. Josh always reaches out. Here's a quick video intro, and there's a video intro with me. Hi, and it's on there. It's a GIF, and it looks great. Well, I think it looks great. Not always. And then down below that is the details, the summary. Offer details, price $450, concessions, home warranty, escrow timeline 21 days, proof of funds 195,000 plus. I hope we can partner together for our clients on this. Looking forward to hearing from you! Exclamation point with my signature right below it. So, and then the offer, usually I word it very as far as the title goes. Dream home offer from Smith family, 450,000 K. 25% down conventional. So it's really clear for them. So I write that. I clearly label proof of funds, POF, or POF, pre-approval, with their names on both, and the RPA with their name on it. And if there's SIP with their name on it, all that together. I would download, by the way, all the all your zip form docs together. When you do DocuSign from your client, you know, it comes right to your email. Downloaded it in just one. Like, I appreciate that as an agent. Like, I really just want to see the 3 attachments, your offer and all the corresponding forms, SIP, whatever it might be, COP. And then I also want to see proof of funds and pre-approval, just clearly marked, nothing special. It's totally good. So I would do that. And then I send it off to them. And then I text them and confirm they got it. I just want to make sure it didn't go to your spam. I will tell you, the worst feeling in the world I have is not for my clients, but for someone else, because I'll have listings. Like I literally had it on my last one. They were a really bad offer, but it went to my spam. He never called, never texted, never followed up, not once. How do you think his clients felt? Like, that's like my friends that were like, oh my gosh, you got the house for your clients that we should have used you for because we would have had it. Like, that sucks. That's a really bad agent.
The client has no idea. That's the problem.
Yeah, no idea.
Echo.
It's a 100% violation of the AD. Read your AD slowly, guys. Like, don't take it for granted. Your agent disclosure of who you are in your relationship to your client, you are supposed to act skillfully. If you are not acting skillfully, you're in violation of your real estate license. Like, I firmly believe this guy was a complete clown. Don't do that to your client. Always follow up. They worked really hard to get to the spot. They put a lot of emotion into writing that offer and crossing their fingers, only to never hear back from you because their agent slammed it in your spam box and you had no idea. Never followed up with you. Always follow up. And it's a touch point. Hey, Ruth, I just want to make sure you got my offer. That didn't go to spam. Thanks so much for taking a look. Ruth's like, yep, got your offer. Great. Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions about that or the video, right? How many times I get people liking and thumbs up, or if we don't get an offer accepted, they go, man, thank you so much. Well, I really wish we could have. You guys are just really nice, really good people. So if you want to cover all your bases, I would say do that. So read the MLS instructions, mind your P's and Q's in the listing. Don't talk in front of the Ring doorbell. Call the listing agent when you're writing an offer. Before you write the offer, if it's a house that looks like it's going to be the one, send them a video because they're not busy. Now, should you send them a video on Sunday after you see the house? Maybe. But like, other people are messaging them too about offers. Do it on a Thursday or Friday before the craziness of the weekend, and they're probably going to appreciate it a lot more rather than just thinking it's just one more thing they have to do because you're trying to impress them. Because now it's game time. Now they know what you want. You do it on Thursday, Friday, you look like you're just gracious. You have gratitude. You do it on Saturday or Sunday, you look like you're trying to get an offer accepted. Not that you aren't, but that's what the offer template and all that stuff's for, right? The other one's for goodwill. So Thursday, Friday, when you book the showing, send them the text, send them the video template or video. Mind your P's and Q's. Call them about writing an offer. If you can't do that, text them about writing an offer. If you can't get a hold of them, it's okay. Happens. Submit the offer, do the video, go back to your client, tell them what it takes to win, submit the offer, do the video, text them, confirm they got it, right? Put some emojis in there. It's all good. It's 2023. So, do you guys have any questions for me? I could stay a little bit longer too. I know it's 10:59. Went right up to it. Questions about getting offers accepted and using Rapport to do it. All right. Well, you did a really bad job, really good job. But either way, thanks for jumping on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Really great content. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Justin.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Justin. I'm going to email you for the template.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it right over.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All
See ya.
right. Have a great day, everybody.